Let's wait till Tarmo is joining. Okay, so if ChainAware is speaking, so it's Martin here, and if Tarmo is speaking, then it's Tarmo. So let's wait a little bit, and yeah, Tarmo is joining. So approve speaker. Tarmo, if you can speak. Hello,
Hello,
Tarmo.
Martin.
Hello. Hey. Good evening. Good evening. So let's
Good
get started. Okay, today is X-Base number 19. It's on the AI and the Web3 topics. And today's topic is AI-based predictive rug detection in a Web3. Why do we need this? Now, we are doing every 2 weeks, we are doing the X-Bases. These are on AI and Web3 topics on the intersections. So we do this usually 60 minutes. We try to stay on 60 minutes. Let's see, do we succeed today? Because usually it takes longer. But let's start with the introductions and then we jump. So 5-minute introductions about you, about me, and then we jump into the discussion. So, Tarmo, would you like to give a short intro about you, just for the listeners?
Hi, my name is Tarmo. I am a distinguished architect. I have been in architecture some 25 years, 11 years in Credit Suisse. I was chief architect of largest Swiss banking platform after that. And concerning my educational background, 4 masters, 1 PhD by a Nobel Prize winner. In addition, CFA, Kaya, I've built over 200 applications. I know banking inside out. Yes, this is short about me. Back to you, Martin.
Okay, and I'm a co-founder of ChainAware. And okay, my background. So I worked for Credit Suisse 10 years in Zurich. Now after Credit Suisse, Tarmo and I, we created Smart Credit. It's the first fixed and borrow lend platform. Tarmo will say some words about this later. And then from Smart Credit, we created ChainAware. So where we focus very much on the AI and so on. Now my background, I'm coming from product development. I launched before Credit Suisse 4 successful products, software products. And there were others who were then less successful. But this 4 of them, they have very high user bases, and we used a lot of AI already 20 years ago. It was the language translation technology. So AI is not something new. If you're speaking of this one, AI has been there pretty long, and maybe nowadays we have too much focus on the generative AI, but we are using in ChainAware, and so it is very much predictive AI, like a predicting what is happening and so on. Okay, what else should we say about the back? So practically, I have 4 master degrees as well. We don't want to show off by saying that we have a lot of degrees. We just did them. We collected the documents, papers. Some people want to see the papers, so we had the papers. Everything is there. We are very down to earth. We are the guys who are creating and launching the products, and we have a lot of fun doing the stuff in a Web3. So first in Smart Credit, now in ChainAware. So yeah, that's how we are. And we started in January with the X-Bases. Now every 2 weeks we have an X-Base, and every alternate week we have then the Telegram-based AMA. Okay, then either in Smart Credit Telegram channel or then in the future as well in a ChainAware Telegram channels. And our focus is then use cases of AI in a Web3. Web3 ad tech, Web3 fraud detection, but everything real use cases. And usually we don't speak so much about generative AI, it's usually predictive AI. But Tarmo, let's introduce the projects that we have been working as well, so that people understand where we are coming from.
Let's start with Smart Credit. It was amazing innovation 4 or 5 years ago, and we created a fully new market segment in crypto finance. And what we have in Smart Credit is fixed term, fixed interest loans. And also DeFi was like money market style, no clear interest, no terms, and we created predictability for users. And why it's important? Everybody complains crypto is volatile. And what we offered were products which reduce volatility in crypto. Okay, I make a loan or investment for 4 months. This is my interest, and it's guaranteed. And it was huge innovation wave, and there were number, Martin, it better, I don't know, 20 or 50 projects who copied us. And yes, we created a new trend, we can say, in crypto with smart credit, and it's successful, it's running, and ChainAware grew out of smart credit. Martin, maybe some words about it.
Yeah, ChainAware, de facto it was 3 years ago when the ChainAware started. So it was first we developed a credit scoring, and now in a credit scoring, of course, we are both a CFAs, chartered financial analysts, so we know very well how to calculate the credit scores. So you use the cash flow based algorithms, but you need as well some fraud detection, because you can have a good cash flow, but if you are like a fraud affine, so that you probably will do the fraud, there's no point to give you a good credit score. So, and we developed the AI-based this fraud detection as a credit score component. And then we realized actually there's so much fraud in a crypto happening, so that we took it out, we externalized this product. The credit score is still there in ChainAware, and we externalized the product of the fraud detection. And okay, guys, we don't focus today so much on this fraud detection, but on rug pull detection. But in our fraud detection, we predict 98% fraud happening based on the blockchain, real time, meaning on the blockchain history as it is in this moment, before it happens. So in the future. So we predict
before it happens, not after it happens. Before.
Not after. Because there's a huge industry of these crypto AML products, Chainalysis, Ethereum Labs, and you name it. They're not predicting, they're documenting what happened. Now we are predicting what will happen. So there's a major difference.
Yes. They're like historians. They say following addresses were fraudulent addresses, but what we can do is we can say which addresses will
be fraudulent. That means better not to interact with them. And then as a next step, we developed rug pull detection, predictive rug pull detection. And that's the focus today, the rug pull detection. And what's rug pull detection? We will dive in a little bit more, but just a short intro is practically we're saying which contracts will do rug pull in the future. Meaning, if you are an investor, do you want to deal with these contracts? Or maybe you say, let me pass this time, I will take some other. So if it's a high probability rug pull, then it's better to pass, not to deal with these contracts. And then we launched the Web3 AdTech. And we are best known by the Web3 AdTech because we are predicting as well user behavior. We are predicting not only fraud or rug pulls or credit scores, we are predicting user intentions, meaning what are intentions, these are the next steps, what the user is doing as a next, what is his persona. And so from one side, we have intentions calculations, meaning persona calculations. And if you're in the sales, we always speak about the buyer intentions. And we are calculating them based on the blockchain history. Okay, now what's special in this? Now, what's special is that we have as well a targeting system. We call it one-to-one targeting system, so that you can choose which messages you use to target which personas. Which messages do I give to high probability future borrowers? Which messages do I give to high probability future traders? Which messages do I give to medium probability future traders? Which messages do I give to guys who are, let's say, borrowers and leverage stakers together? So practically, I have this, we create these personas, and then the marketing people can then define the personas for the for their platforms. Let's say if you're on borrowing platform, it's a bullseye hit if you get a borrower persona on your platform. Now usually you get someone else on your platform. You get an NFT guy, or gaming guy, or gambler guy, or some leverage staker guy, and so. What do you tell them? Now we recognize these personas out of the blockchain history. And we give this, we offer the possibility that you define the messages for these personas. And what's the impact of this? What's the impact of this AdTech? Because this increases massively the conversion rates. Now, because if you're speaking with a Web3, if you're looking at the Web3 platforms, these These are beautiful platforms, but these are static platforms. Every user is getting the same message on their websites. Every user is getting the same message. Now, we are saying it's about user conversion. So it has to resonate. Now, everyone knows how important the resonance is, but these applications are not resonating. Now, to get resonating, you have to resonate with application users. Now, how to know how to resonate with application users? Calculate their intentions and make a targeting them based on the intentions, and then you're resonating. So it's leading much higher to user conversion. Now, maybe this is too abstract. Let me just. Oh, sorry, I'm getting too much sidetracked, but I will finish now very soon. And but if you, but
You're
let me make just
resonating.
let me just make an example of the emails. Probably many of us we are getting these mass marketing emails like. And usually, if it's a mass marketing email, I mean, open rate is 1%. Now in crypto, it's probably 0.5%. Probably just delete. Now, if it's personalized emails, the open rate is 15 to 30%. So
Yeah.
from 1.5 to 30%. So meaning the personalization leads to much higher conversion. And that's what we offer. That's what we offer with the ad tech. So we started from credit score, we got to the fraud detection, we got to the rug pull detection. We start to calculate intentions and connected the intentions with the targeting system. So particularly what ChainAware is doing, we are predicting. We're not predicting prices, not all business. We are predicting behavior. We are predicting what the users or contracts to us next. We are behavioral prediction, not price predictions. We leave the pricing predictions to all these wannabe traders. Please go predict prices. We predict what will happen as the next. That's a ChainAware. And one of the topics is in the rapport. Oh, we are already by 10 minutes now.
We resonate too much.
Okay, we are by 10 minutes now. Let's get to the rug pull. Yeah. So, and in January, we launched the rug pull. Now, when did we launch the rug pull? Not the rug pull.
Not the rug pull detection, Martin.
Rug pull detection. We launched the predictive rug pull detection in January. When was it? Like, was it beginning of this year? I don't remember. Or was it beginning of this year? Probably. So we launched it now. But let's get to the rug pulls. Now, if you have been a little bit longer in the crypto, so rug pull, it means that there is let's say some team. This team is creating a contract, and this like a token contract, and this team is creating a trading pool, be it on Uniswap, be it on PancakeSwap, okay, Ethereum, BNB chain, so on. And they're putting some liquidity in, and they pump the liquidity up. So there is a lot of Telegram groups, there's a shilling and so on. They pump it up, and a lot of new people are getting there. A lot of freshmen, they see, oh, wow, there is some cool new projects. You can buy the tokens and you can make 10x profit, or you can make 100x profit. It's a new Vitalik Buterin or something in this type. So they buy the token, and from one day to next, then certainly all the liquidity from the pool is taken away.
From 1 hour, Martin, not 1 day, 1 hour.
Okay, from 1 hour to next, or 1 second to next, you just do a trade, and the next 5 seconds, for example, the liquidity is taken. So the value of your tokens that you just bought is 0. Meaning you lose not 20%, you don't lose 50% like in a trader, like you stop losses, you lose everything. So 100% rug pull. No, the alternative of this thing is like that the token contract allows to mint a lot of new tokens, or there was some token allocation for the contract creators or whoever the initiators there, and they just sell this huge amount of tokens into this liquidity pool on the Pancake or on the Uniswap, and the same way the value of a token is destroyed, the liquidity, meaning the value of a token, is taken out of the pool, and everyone else is then hanging around on the 0. Now, this is a rug pull. So, but again, what it means is the trader will lose 100%. It's not 20%, it's not 50%, there's no stop loss. It's lost everything.
You lose everything, and just in a moment. Yes, it's like quote is some high price, and next quote is 0. And yes, this is rug pull. And what we have technology is to predict which contracts will do rug pulls. And of course, maybe people say rug pulls never heard, or is it relevant? But when we look numbers, Martin, you have the numbers. Tell it to listeners.
Because we are predictive rug pull detector, AI-based predictive rug pull detector. So, in your Pancake per day, you have 1,400 to 1,500 pools created. 1,400 to 1,500 per day, every day. Now, every month, every year, and trend is growing. So it's always more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and what you see on these new pools, they are created, and then some moment the trading is starting. And maybe this trading is starting then 30 minutes to 90 minutes. That's kind of the median average. 30 minutes to 90 minutes is a trading activity. And after this trading activity, more or less, there is liquidity is on zero. Now, and what you see is that they are pumped up, and then it's just a dump. And the dump is then either the liquidity is withdrawn, or then the huge amount of tokens is minted, or someone had a huge amount of tokens, and he's just selling them into the liquidity and destroying all the value. Now you can say, so what? Okay, we say it's not so what. 95% of pools are doing this. So 1,400 pools per day to 1,500. Yes. 95% of pools. Meaning if you are early investor into these pools, you have an absolute loss, you have 100% loss. So, yep, these are the statistics. Now, how is it possible that it's then working now? Like if you are getting, let's say, rug pulled once, but probably then you're like burn the fingers, you're saying, no, I'm not doing it next time. But it's the human behavior. It's the search. People are searching for the next Vitalik or next Vitalik Buterin or, I don't know, next Solana or whatever, next Bitcoin. It's the search for the next big thing. It's the search for the next 10x. It's the search for the next 100x. And the rug pullers, they know it very well. And they play on this human psychology. They know it. And this is like this social engineering. This engineering of the mood. This is a human greed. And you want to do this 10x. You want to do this 50x. You want to do the 100x.
Everybody wants to be an early investor in Bitcoin or Ethereum or so. And now just people want to repeat the success stories, and this is their motivation why they invest into early pools. However, if you know this number, 95% of early pools are rug pulls where you lose all your investment. I would say 2 options: think twice, or second, identify which pools are doing rug pull.
Yeah, play safe. So, like, why do you invest there where you will then lose 100%? Of course, you have this possibility, let's call it the front running, that you will buy and then you will sell before the rug pull happens. Now, but then you need a special skills to predict when the rug pull will happen. So you might get happy, you might get lucky, you might get wrong. So that you then sell 5 minutes before the rug pull happens. Maybe you will get lucky, but the high probability is that the opposite will happen. Now, but Tarmo, let's take anatomy of a rug pull. Let's play this through. Let's say, how does it typically work?
Very well. It is just social engineering. And this is, we see often rug pull as, and also industry sees rug pulls as contracts, and we can discuss it later, or analysis of contracts. Rug pull is something different. Rug pull is social engineering, where a mood is created. And if you have been in crypto, then you know there are armies of shillers and armies of bots which can create mood and just push a certain new pool or new idea so that everybody thinks this is the next big thing. And rug pull is this contract is end of this social engineering, and before this rug pull happens, there is a long phase where a very dedicated scientific social engineering program is carried out. Or Martin, yeah, but
exactly, it's a social engineering that we can speak of the rug pull industry. So it's a rug pull ecosystem, rug pull industry, and it manifests then in this contract. But there is everything around this contract, and there is everything around the contract. This mood is created, this sentiment is created. Now just imagine there are like a 50 Telegram channels. They all start to speak to shill now the token to the moon number 22. Go to moon 22, for example. Let's hope this token doesn't exist. I'm shilling now some token. Now go to the moon 22, and they will shill it, and they start shilling now very fast, and you will get these messages on the channels now. But you have to think that there is an engineering behind. There is a science of shilling behind. So, and on the end, it manifests on the contract. You see the contract, you go to the Pancake, you buy it. But before this is this long industries, multiple steps. So that means if you are dealing with the rug pulls, it's not just a contract. We are dealing with the social engineering. Now we are dealing with a very advanced social engineering. So where the mood is created, and this mood now, who are the victims of this mood? Are usually the new people. Because if you have been longer in a crypto, probably taken some losses, you're getting resistant, and if you see all the shilling, then you're just laughing and saying, yeah, good one, well done, and you're just moving on. You develop certain skills that you develop intelligence. You understand what is real, what is not real, and so you understand what is happening. So you learn the ecosystem, but the new people who are joining this ecosystem don't have this like the educational training, but now the guys who have been longer in the ecosystem, they have it. They don't have it. They are fully like exposed to this, and this they generated greed. They generated this project has an ex-Vitalik Buterin.
And these guys who do it, the social engineering, these are expert psychologists. They know which buttons to push. They know all mass psychology. They know group psychology, individual psychology, how to influence. And now new guys come, and there are masters in psychology, and they just start manipulating them. And what happens, of course, they think this is the next big thing. I buy this token. There are so many good messages about it. Resonates with me. And then they lose it.
So in the same way as a ChainAware as this resonating advertisement technology, the same way this but all resonating technology goal is to create users on the platform of the real products. That you have real products, you create the users now, but these guys are resonating, they're using resonating technology, fully other resonating technology. Then to get people to buy the tokens. To get the tokens and the playing on the grid. And the first thing is they know what will happen next. So we are not speaking that there's some project A who decided to do the rug pull and the project B who decided the rug pull. We're speaking that there is an industry behind this rug pull ecosystem, which is earning their living and their profits via this social engineering. Which manifests then on the end on these contracts where you get all these newbies who are buying these tokens. So it's the industry. So and a very advanced industry. Yeah. Okay, then let's make an example. I was thinking, and we discussed with Tarmo. I remembered we discussed before the X-Base. Let's take for example ChainAware. I mean, you will not believe the story, but ChainAware has been copied at least 3 times. At least 3 times you have found. Probably it has been copied more times because they're very AI centric. ChainAware has its own AI models. And it's a hot topic. We are not using like generative AI. We have developed our own AI models, and with our own artificial intelligence models, we are predicting the future. Of course, it's a very hot topic. Now we have been copied 3 times. I mean, our web interface.
Martin, what we know is 3 times. Probably it's even more.
Yeah, maybe even more, like 10 times. So, and not only that, our web user interface is copied, this web user interface has been connected to our backend. So that the users who are giving them doing the queries, fraud queries, or rug pull queries, or the intention, the wallet auditor queries, they get the real results now. And in one case, I think in 2 cases, we found as well that they created a token. Because we of course are monitoring the systems, we see the thing, we see what is happening, and in one case it was like a real life. We saw the token was created. Someone copied our website, full copy of the website, fully working website. Like they copied the token and they started shilling it. They were pushing it. We saw how the token price is going up. Now, very interesting, of course, how detectors say this is a rug pull, this address is a rug pull. Like, don't use it. But what's most amazing, they pushed this token price on 120 kilo, and then in the next second, boom, there's a rug pull. So okay, this is just an example. Like now, what we see from ChainAware himself, a copy was created. Probably to some newbies, it was pushed. This information via multiple channels. And okay, we identified 3 times. Probably there are 10 times it's copied. We identified this 2 times where the fake token was created. Probably the other 10 times they created a fake token too. We just didn't catch them so fast. Okay, now, and these are the rug pulls. And the victims of these rug pulls, these are the new users. New users. I think again, 1,400 pulls per day on the BNB. The army of the shillers, social engineering, and so on. Okay, now we don't want to scare you. We're just saying that's how it is now. That is like a wild west now. What do we do? Like, what do we do in this wild west? So, Tarmo, do you want to say some words about, let's say?
Yes, it is. What we have is classical industry misleading, and what this current protection is all forensic analysis, like documenting what happened. That yes, there was a rug pull, and there are tens of companies who document. Yes, it was a bad address or it was a bad contract. Don't use it, but you lost already your money, so don't use it. But it will tell you don't use it. So probably investors. Now, its question is which investors are rug pulled, of course. Then what we have is token contract audit, and this is a kind of false security. It gives people impression that the contract is clean. The contract don't have this buy-sell tax or proxy contracts that it can be replaced or cannot mint unlimited tokens or modify the tax that you have in buy or sell. So you get this impression the contract is clean, the contract is good. And so we have companies like GoPlus and QuickIntel and Honeypot and many companies do this analysis and say, oh, this token contract is good and you can use it. But is it really a right answer? Because what these guys don't tell you is that what we discussed earlier, that there is a huge social engineering initiative happening around these rug pulled tokens.
And these tools, they don't cover it at all. These tools are just taking this, okay, because we are, okay, for the beginners, we have a token contract, let's say token. We spoke with Go to Moon 22, okay, like a token contract. And then we have a pool for this, let's say Pancake pool. So there's always two, there's a token and there's a pool. Pool has a liquidity, which is then pumped up. And then in the case of rug pull, it's then destroyed, taken out. So, and then the guys who are destroying it, okay, social engineers, they will get a nice profit. So, on cost of their victims, so cost of a lot of newbies. So practically, it's just analyzing a token. But sorry, Tarmo, please. I'm talking about.
Yes, and then you get this from this audit companies impression that token contract and the pool are clean, that everything is clean, that yes, it's investable. But what you don't know is what will happen later.
Okay, let's separate. Okay, the first thing is like a token contract is clean. Okay, but you can have a token contract clean, but you have a pool which is fully doing a rug pull in the next as a next just 30 minutes in the rug pull with a clean token contract. Now, the issue being this. There's some technologies that are there. They are focusing on the token, but we are speaking of pools. Not the token is doing rug pull. Pool is doing rug pull.
Yes, you audit your token contract. Oh, my token contract is very clean, but the rug pull is done by completely different contract, Martin.
Rug pull is done by different contract. And now all the guys, all this social engineering behind this, all this rug pull industry, they know that these tools exist. They know that the tools like a GoPlus that what these tools, statistical analysis tools are doing, they're taking the EVM code, meaning the bytecode of the contracts, they're reading it, they're searching for, looking for certain static patterns, like this buy-sell tax. Buy-sell tax means that if you're selling a token that you're getting taxed very high, and other patterns, proxy pattern means like that the inside of the contract is actually proxy, which can be replaced. So the initial version is very good, but then you submit another proxy contract inside, which is then a very bad. It's a very high sales tax, or a very high number of unminted yet not minted tokens. So, okay, sorry. But they are using the EVM code of a token contract, Now, but if you are some bad guy, and you know that these tools are there, you know it. Are you then really putting a buy-sell tax into your contract?
Of course not.
Creating a proxy contract? Are you then creating a contract where you can have an unlimited, a very high number of minted tokens, which are not yet minted but can be minted in the future? Are you creating a contract where you can, let's say, change, let's say, buy-sell tax later of the token creation? Like, you know all of this already. You know that this tool is there, and all this static analysis, EVM analysis, it's giving false security to the users of these tokens. The people are looking on there's a GoPlus. Okay, we respect GoPlus, of course. We know the guys. You look on this GoPlus output of the contract. Of the token contract, not the pool contract, because we are speaking of pools. Rug pools are always the pools. You look at output of the token contract, and you see the output is fully okay. Does it give you any security? And if really someone is using buy-sell tax, then I'm saying like, wow, guys, this sounds like 90s. This is really old. Like, I cannot believe that anyone is doing this now.
Yes, for a museum, yes.
So it's like, hey, I found a contract which has a buy-sell tax. I really don't believe that anyone is doing this now because the tools are there. And again, there's a token contract and there's a pool contract now. So, and the current protection technologies, like we explained, they're going on a token. And they're doing statistical analysis of a token. And the users are getting false security. Now, but the other is then the pool contract. Tarmo, let's speak pool contract, yeah?
No, I just wanted to say this false security, it's the worst, and people think they can trust somebody who is, and they don't know what is the real trade, what is the real risiko, and the real risiko is the pool. What happens in pool dynamically? Martin, back to you.
Yeah, on one side we have this very well developed rug pulling ecosystem. Like it's an industry which generates profits. Okay, we have no clue who is running this industry, but they are doing it pretty advanced if you're looking at the statistics that we're seeing. On one side you have industry, and on the other side you have these statistical tools, which is looking for the statistical patterns in an EVM code of a token contract, not in the pools. Now, in the token contracts. Result, all the newbies, if they're looking on these token contracts like a text tools, okay, we like text tools. You can see it's for free. You can see this analysis, like GoPlus and other analysis. Of course, it takes time till this analysis is coming down. Like it doesn't appear immediately. Now, and it gives you false security. And so on one side you have a very advanced ecosystem, and on the other side you have false security, and between you have the users. Now, a lot of them are these new Web3 users who are coming down into this crossfire, and they are there. And they have this false security. They think they are protected, they are not at all. Yeah. Because the rug pulls are done on the pools, not in the token contracts. On the pools. Now, and if you are speaking of the pools, let's look on the pool anatomy. Now pool is created. There's someone who is creating the pool. And then there is someone who is adding liquidity to the pool. So adding liquidity. And there is the guys who can add liquidity, they can then as well remove liquidity from the tool. Okay, if you add liquidity, you get these LP tokens, liquidity provider tokens, and later you can burn your liquidity provider tokens, and you get back the assets from the pool. Now, in the meantime, if the value of the pool is being pumped up, you're getting back much more assets than you submit it. Oh, okay. You will get, let's say, if you do BNB and go to the moon 22 trading power, you get back much more BNB and much less go to the moon. But you don't care about go to the moon 22 because on the next half a day you do go to the moon 23. Now with a fully new website and with the new shilling channels. So that means there's a pool creation, there's a liquidity adding, liquidity removing, now, and there's a token. Now, but this analysis on the pools, it's not there. But now the next step is these pools are not something like a static. These pools are dynamic. It's like a living organism. There's something happening. How do we know which ones of them will rock pool, which will not? And okay. So and that's where we have created our solution. So okay, Tarmo, do you want to say a little bit about?
Yes, and just to repeat, there is currently no protection against rug pulls by this classical means. To protect against rug pulls, you need behavioral analytics, what we do in ChainAware. And but we built up this AI which recognize which pools are going to do rug pulls in future. And it's classical. You have your positive data, negative data, and you train. And as it is financial data, it is quite accurate. You get very high accuracy in prediction. It is unbelievable, and you can predict with very, very high accuracy what happens with pool in future, Martin, and yeah.
Okay, and so we have our own AI models, and these AI models is a real time. We're getting the real time data. Okay, of course we're looking on the contracts. But now, if you're looking on the contracts, it's not only contract creation; it's as well liquidity adding. Now, let's say someone is creating contract on a good address, but then the liquidity is added on the bad address. That we do in this case. Or liquidity is added on the good address, and then a lot of liquidity is added on the bad address. What do we do in this case? And there's all this real-time analytics is running in. It's not just that we look, okay, the contract was created on Monday and today is Friday, everything's okay on Friday, no, because it was created Monday. We look as well what happened between. What happened till now? Liquidity. Who added liquidity? How was the liquidity addition done? So what we're speaking of dynamical system. We're speaking like of the live system, of dynamical system. It's not statical. Okay, before we spoke about the current this recognition technologies, they are statical token analysis technologies that they look on the EVM code of a token. Now we don't look on the token. We call their APIs. If their APIs like GoPlus, we love GoPlus. Now if you call GoPlus APIs, GoPlus is saying, okay, token has to high buy sell tax, then it's good, not good. Better, don't deal with this token. But like you said, it feels so 90s, like no one is doing high buy sell taxes kind. Everyone knows that these tools are there. So you had to, okay, let's get back 2024 from 90s. Now, you had to look on the contract. You had to look on the dynamics, what happens with the contract.
Behavior.
It's a dynamical system.
It's behavioral analytics, and the key is take complexity theory, and if you have a complex problem, there is no simple solution. And this is what we see with this classical approach. You have a complex problem, you have to analyze the behavior in this problem and recognize the behavior. And this is what our AI algorithms are doing. They are recognizing fraudulent behavior real time in dynamic system. And this static approach, you say 1990s or 1980s, of course, it is you can't apply it in dynamic systems and in complex systems. And let's the only hope is that people just learn it and start using detection for rug pulls and understand it is behavioral issue and it's not a static contract issue, Martin.
Exactly. This issue of false security, like a text tools. We like text tools. Okay, it's a good guys. Now, text tools shows you this data. Now you see this data like GoPlus output, and there's other systems like Honeypot output and so on for the tokens. These are static now. The question is always, who is your enemy? Or maybe not enemy, who is your opponent? Who is on the other side?
Adversary. Yeah.
Gives you false security. Who is your adversary? And your adversary, it's an ecosystem, it's a rug pull ecosystem.
Rug pull industry.
Very advanced.
It's very advanced rug pull ecosystem industry with very highly qualified psychologists. Very, very well-trained psychologists. Yes.
You go on text tools and you see the static analysis of the token contract. So 90s. And on the other side, you have advanced industry, rug pull industry. Now, what do you think? Who will win? What do you think? Okay, it's obvious. We know who will win. But what is surprising us is this. Now, if you're looking on okay, let's get ChainAware. Okay, we're saying behavioral prediction. We say behavioral prediction after fraud behavior. That's on the wallets now. Behavioral protection on the contracts, like rug pull detection, intention, like a user intention, like a user persona calculations, all these behavioral calculations. Now, all these calculations, these are dynamical systems. These are dynamic calculations, and even if you have one behavior today, you can develop other behaviors. You can develop next behaviors. It's a dynamical behavior. It's a dynamical system. It's not statical system. It's a self-evolving system. So, like addresses, contracts, contract interactions. Now, people like what the intentions are, how the experience is developing. Like all of this is dynamical system. But what we are seeing here as a fraud detection technologies. Okay, we're speaking here of we spoke before of the AML technologies a little bit. Like, okay, AML, like anti-money laundering technologies. Now, and these are very much these forensic technologies. Like that they are starting from this bad addresses, this is so-called bad address databases. Like it's known like that this 1 million addresses are bad. And now you look like where the money has been flowing from this bad addresses, you calculated 5 hops and then you say, no, money is clean after 5 hops.
But after 6.
Thank you. I mean, you do what the law is requiring, but you do 6 hops, money is clean. Yeah, okay. You had a bad money, you do 6 hops, just next. 6 times, count till 6, your money is clean. Really? Yes, that's how these systems are working. Now, these are like the AML systems, okay, and they are tracing to the bad money. So, does these systems help them to recognize the rug pull? No. Okay. Then there is these static analysis tools of the contract. Okay, we spoke about this. It feels 90s that this EVM analytics and so is done. Does this help to predict the rug pulls? No. But you see now in both cases we are dealing with a statical analysis, like let's call it statical analysis, how the money is flowing, how the bad money, so okay, whatever the bad is defined, the regulator decides this money is bad, so okay, it's classified as a bad marked wallet, okay, how this marked wallet money, the bad money is flowing through the system, it's a statical analysis. And then we have the token analysis, again a statical analysis. And on the other side, we have a dynamical system. So that means the adversary is a dynamical system, and the means to protect from this dynamical system are static algorithms, like the AML algorithm.
Yes, and adversary knows what the static systems check, Martin. It's even worse.
They can test it. They know all your capabilities. You token analysis models. They know the crypto models. They know that if you do 6 hops, everything's okay. Okay, I mean, guys, and this is crypto AML industry. This is crypto transaction monitoring industry. There are companies like ChainAware who has received 500 million investment. There is a TRM Labs, I think 149, 150 million investment. Like, which protection do you provide in a Web3? Which protection? Or maybe this protection is only like for the centralized exchanges, like for the regulators, because regulators are very much looking at the centralized exchanges, and that's where their focus is. But what security is there for the Web3? And we are saying in a ChainAware, so you need two types of securities. One is a transaction monitoring, like for the wallet transaction monitoring, the same as in the banks. Tarmo and I, we worked in a credit switch, like every bank is doing AML, the same as these AML companies are doing, like ChainAware, TRM Labs, you name it, tons of them, all with a very huge investment, tons of them. Now, but then in traditional banking, you have as well a transaction monitoring, and the regulators mandated both. You have to do AML monitoring and you have to do the transaction monitoring. Both are required, both are mandatory. Now in the crypto industry, we see the AML monitoring is done, transaction monitoring is not done. So, okay, no, but the next question. So transaction monitoring is not done. Then the contract analytics, the dynamical system. You cannot use statical means to analyze the dynamical system. So, okay, that's what you say. And that's very much where the crypto like security industry is. Like, which means are there. And that's, we are saying you need AI-based transaction monitoring. You need AI-based rug pull detection. But Tarmo, let's say a little bit more like what we offer in ChainAware. Just little ad break for ChainAware.
What we offer. We offer fraud detection. We can predict which address is going to do in future fraud. And if you know it, then do you want to transact with this address or with this entity? Probably not. Probably it's going to do a fraud for you. We can predict which pools will do rug pulls in future with very high accuracy. By fraud detection, we have accuracy over 98%. Rug pulls, we have very high accuracy. We have credit score. It has very, very high machine learning AI component and also behavioral analytics. So if you take classical banks, they have cash flow analysis. What we included was all behavioral analytics into credit score. This gives you amazing results. You can predict very, very accurate, with very high accuracy credit capabilities of people. Does somebody want to pay your loan back or not? And these are all these behavioral characteristics, and we can also calculate intentions. We know intentions of users. What's if we get an address, we can calculate what the owner of the address wants to do. And this is basis of all intention marketing, what you spoke a little bit earlier with resonating. We can calculate intentions of a user and then send resonating messages, and then you achieve very high conversion rate or retention rate, whatever you want. And it's all behavioral AI-based analytics, and we predict the future, or we predict the future actions, and we predict the future behavior. And this technology is what we have developed. We have had other Twitter talks, and these are like basis for crossing the cusp in Web3 industry, Martin. It's not focus for today.
Yeah. Okay, this is our 19th of X-Space. Now we are speaking very much about Web3 and AI, and we have spoken very much about the Web3 ad technology, about ad tech. Now, probably most of people know ChainAware about the ad tech, but today we decided to speak about as well that we have other AI models like fraud detection, rug pull detection models,
Other behavioral
models.
analytics. We predict behavior. Yes, it's not just your intentions; it's also behavior. It can be behavior of a pool, but we can predict.
And of course, ChainAware, we monetize the most via the ad tech. It's fully clear, like the ad tech monetization, but the rug pull detection and so de facto we offer it for free. We offer it for every individual for free. Of course, if people want to do a little bit more calls, then they have to pay a little bit. But hey, guys, like if you think on the 100% losses, but you're getting the rug pulls versus the $20 monthly, like a subscription fee, I think it's in a good balance. So, but de facto we offer it for free, but like for the individuals now. So that's in the ChainAware. So practically we predict. Okay, there are many projects which try to predict the prices. We don't want to predict the prices. We let others to do it. We predict the behavior, and the monetization is then via the ad tech, and the monetization is via the fraud and rug pull detection. Yeah, and now the ad tech and fraud detection, they're essential in the industry. They are essential in the industry because we are speaking in the previous spaces very much about this, and we have compared about what happened in a Web 2 industry. Like if the Web 2 industry emerged, the internet hype, there was so much fraud. And what was the resolution? The fraud detection, credit scoring. The credit card fraud, the fraud detection industry emerged.
Yes, the same ecosystem what we are speaking now. They probably went over from credit card fraud over to rug pull industry. It's probably even more profitable, and the same players probably are just continuing their game. And yes, I remember discussions with people from Skype and etc. And they just said most effort goes into fraud detection and not into communicating or building a system for communication. Its main issue was fraud when you had early Web 2, Martin. Yeah.
And this was in the early Web 2. It was a very huge issue. How do you deal with the fraud? And we just discussed today, we wanted to show it that the fraud is not a statical situation, it's a very dynamical situation. And now dynamical situation, you cannot analyze it as statical tools. You need AI, you need a pattern matching. If you're a dynamical adversary, you need to respond with the dynamical pattern matching tools, meaning with AI. You cannot respond with the traditional crypto AML tools. I think this industry has received like 1 billion investments. They still sing the old song that they use these statical analysis tools about the dynamically behaving adversary. Okay. We hope that more people are listening to this X space and are calling these guys and saying, like, hey guys, do you understand as well what you're doing?
So they try to solve a complex problem with a simple solution, but you can solve complex problem only with a complex solution, Martin. And yeah.
Yes, it's like a system with a feedback, and someone is doing the linear regression and tries to describe how the feedback system is then working with the linear regression. It's like that kind of level of solutions, very simplified solution. Now, but this happened in a Web 2, and in a Web 2 there was a huge fraud, and the solution was introduction AI-based transaction monitoring on the credit cards. So. And this was the solution. Okay, on one side, of course, you had AML, like the regulator tried to do a little bit with AML, and so these are statical rules, and these are more or less codified everywhere in the countries, in the OECD countries. But it was AI-based transaction monitoring. So the fraud detection, we had this AI fraud detection. Okay, it's called fraud detection, or like in the banking industry, it's called transaction monitoring. So this was one. Now the second topic on the Web 2 industry. It was to bring okay, now we're getting the ad tech, little advertisement for the ChainAware ad tech. So it's bring right people to the right platforms at the right time. So that's it. Because it's a crossing the cusp discussion. And we had this in the last X-Space. Oh, I think last X-Space was 3 weeks ago. It wasn't 2 weeks ago. We had a little logistical rescheduling, so we had it 3 weeks ago. And we discussed about this, how the Web 2 industry crossed the cusp. And there it was essential to have the ad tech. So So you needed both two technological capabilities. From one side, you required the AI-based transaction monitoring to suppress the credit card fraud and other frauds on the Skype and as well other frauds. And you needed the ad tech industry. So to bring right people to the right platform, because what's the point of having a massive innovation and a business process if your customer acquisition costs are going to the roof, so that you cannot finance your business. And this ad tech technology, which ad tech technology is always essential part of ecosystem, it's sorted. So that's so we're speaking that the Web 2 industry emerged, and it was at the beginning it wasn't popular, and then it went very steep. Yes, it went steep because these two problems were solved: the fraud and the ad tech. Bring right users to the right platforms, right time.
Eliminate
So that's the
downside
ad tech.
and build up upside. This is very, very simple. Don't make wrong decisions and just invest into right decisions. And eliminate fraud and use ad tech to get right users to right platform. It's very simple why Web 2 became successful. Yeah.
And the result was, Web 2 was this crossing the chasm book. And then, of course, Geoffrey Moore and others, they wrote this book, Crossing the Chasm, and so on. And I was reading this book in 1999, and I was thinking, oh, what a smart guy. But they were all speaking at that time, I didn't understand it. They were always speaking about crossing the chasm. It happens out of something, somehow the chasm
magic.
was crossed.
It just happens, a magic.
I walked down the street and I crossed the chasm. Wow, Geoffrey, very good book. Okay, this book I think it sold millions.
Yes.
But well, the thing is it didn't answer this question, and the real answer was there was a fraud detection.
And fraud detection.
Plus the ad tech. These two systems, and these are the systems we are pushing. We are pushing the fraud detection systems, the AI-based fraud detection systems, because today we describe a little bit what is dynamic, why you need dynamic fraud detection systems, why the statical fraud detection systems are not enough. Because let's say if you're speaking like abstract fraud, most of people are saying fraud. No, there's no fraud happening with me. I'm not dealing with any bad guys. Okay, good. But then let's take the rug pull. And probably every Web3 guy can be exposed to the rug pull. Every Web3. Now, and that's why we took it. We looked on this. We looked at this topic today. Just to visualize that this topic is much more dynamic. Now, yeah. Okay, Tarmo, what would you say?
Martin, our time is running out. We have just 3 minutes left. Let's try to summarize, maybe. And what you said is that Web 2 success is based on implementation of fraud detection systems and implementation of ad tech. This is why Web 2 became successful. And if Web 3 wants to become successful, just learn from the past, do the same. We have technologies. And the key now to summarize is we are living in a world where we have very dynamic environment. And all these theories, what these PhDs learn at ETH or other universities, like how to build compilers and how to identify static flaws in a code, it's not enough for dynamic systems. And we have this issue that we haven't understood, that in Web3, we are living in a dynamic system. It's not static systems where you can come with approaches from 1980s or 1970s. You have to go over into behavioral analytics to come with an enormous compute power against these adversaries, analyze their behavior, and then to say behavior accepted or behavior not accepted. And you can do for pools, rug pull, you can do it for fraud. You can analyze, predict evil intentions. You need this compute power to calculate and predict behavior. And as we are in a very dynamic system, in Web3, we need this huge computational power, and then you can predict the future, Martin.
Exactly. And this Web2 crossing the chasm, Web3 crossing the chasm. Okay, let's say it in this way. The history does not repeat, but it rhymes. Now, and we think the same thing that happened in a Web2. These two accelerators of Web2 penetration. Okay, there was AI-based transaction monitoring for the credit cards and other systems. So, because you couldn't do this with the statical rules, didn't work. And this took down the fraud ratios. Now, and if you took down the fraud ratios, you introduced the trust into the system. Because till this moment, people had the credit card, they went into, I don't know, McDonald's. No, I don't go to McDonald's. Starbucks, I don't like Starbucks. No, whatever, they went to bookstore. Okay, they went to bookstore. Now, and you had this credit card that you control, you paid it. But then all this credit card fraud came. Okay, all these credit card sniffing, credit card data, and someone in your name but doing credit card transactions from fully other places. And that's which took down the trust into the system. And but it was real losses. Someone stole your credit card data, you were in New York, and someone from, I don't know, New Zealand then used your credit card to buy whatever.
Martin, to give maybe just to illustrate these losses, but in credit cards, even today, there are very high interest, but you pay for your overdrafts, but you don't pay right time back. And this gives you idea how big the fraud was. The fraud was so big in a credit card industry that this interest covered this cost. And yes,
credit card companies had to cover this fraud to the consumers. And yes, that's what you want to say. Just to quantify the size of the and the result was this all took down the trust in the Web2 industry. And it was solved with the AI-based fraud detection solutions. Okay, these are called AI-based transaction monitors. Now, okay, this was the first. And the second, okay, that's second business is the ad technology. It's intention-based. Actually, Google did the same what we are doing. Now, Google used not the blockchain history. Google used your browsing history. No, we don't want to say that Google should buy now ChainAware, but okay. Google used your browsing history and they calculated your intentions. And based on your intentions, they had then the target and the ad system. And that was their innovation. Now, Google, Twitter, Facebook, these are all ad technology systems that just calculate intentions based on data that you provide to them or what they gather them by any means. And then they offer this targeting. So, but the point being, with these targeting systems, you are bringing right users to the right platforms. And with these two solutions, okay, with one, you created a trust in the industry with AI-based transaction monitors, not with statical monitors, not with statical AML tracking rules, not with statical contract analysis, with dynamic analysis for dynamical system. You created a trust, and from other side, you created intention calculations so that you could bring right users to right platforms. Because if you are vegetarian, why you make an advertisement for you about whatever grilling steaks or so, or vice versa? Bring right. Or if you're not drinking alcohol, why you make your advertisement of alcohol? So bring right users to the right platforms and convert them. And these two things they resulted in crossing the chasm. This was our discussion in the previous X-Space.
Yes.
And so okay, so that means. Now, okay, we started today with the rock pool technology. We got now in the other technologies too. I think Tarmo, let's stop in this and here now. The next X-Space is then in 2 weeks. So we'll take again about some interesting topic. We'll create a lot of connections to the related topics, and I hope it will be very interesting for the listeners. We will put as well this on the YouTube, okay, with some small delay, maybe 1 week or so, that we'll put this recording as well on the YouTube. And yeah, I hope that you like it, that you will share it, and that you think a little bit as well what we discussed. And Maybe you even use a little bit ChainAware. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Bye.